Hello and welcome to Trails to Azure Part 47. Today I'm continuing going around Crossbell City, and that's probably what I'm going to do today, but since last time I got the slots for these four complete. Initially I was farming with rainbow trout, but then I gave up on it because I could do it while reading, but it was slow. So eventually I switched to rainbow palms by St. Ursula. I'm going to show what I was doing there. And then these two I didn't get because she's leaving tomorrow. She might not leave, but if she leaves, then I'm not going to bother upgrading her more. And he's not really a rush, but between now and next time I intend to get all that and get actual quartz. But once I do that, I'll get like a few EP3s, some EP cut 3s, a bunch of that stuff hopefully. Some cast 2s, action 3s, like all that. But that's going to take a lot of time. Oh, I also increased the hyper mode because it was faster when I was doing it, but what I did was go here. I was careful not to enter through the gate because once I accidentally went through and it triggered a cutscene. I have to be careful of that. But so what I do is high speed mode here, and I look on the left. Then I go, it's gonna flash a bunch. Go in and out until I see this one, which is a shining palm, and then I just run over there and then hit it, but not with Lloyd, because Lloyd specifically always hits twice. So because it's 10 levels under or something, that means that it gets killed without engaging combat. So it's actually better to make sure you use a single hit, which Ellie and Randy both only hit once. I'm not sure about Tio. And then what I do is, because Shining Palms run, if I can't kill them, if there isn't a Sepith up right away, I just say whatever and kill them. And I get an okay amount, as opposed to them running away and it getting nothing. Like, that's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. But if I get a proper Sepith up turn, and they don't run away, then I trigger Lloyd's. I've used Lloyd's most of the time, but I use Lloyd's. I think actually in this case, I might do it differently. Like, kill 3 of them. Because this is not a situation that I've run into a ton. As long as they don't run away, I'm fine. Yeah. Then I do this, and then I use Lloyd's, hit him, get a bunch of Sepith. Not really gonna matter, but aerial cannon might kill it. Yeah, they don't do a lot of damage. The issue is they dodge so much. But then it gets to this turn, and it's 150 of each because there might be better ones to use, but I just use Lloyd's because it's easy. And like, the more hits the attack has, the more Sepith you get on a Sepith up turn, and so I get 150 if I get a Sepith up that works well. And I get a ton of U material. No, it's an event. U material. Yeah, like I'm at max U material now because of Shining Palms. And like, I caught a ton of rainbow trout. And it's easy to do. All you have to do... I didn't mean to do that. The only thing you have to pay attention to is the audio. I'm certain now that it doesn't always trigger the audio. Sometimes it just does the visual. And then if you have the charge stuff, you can charge all your stuff. It's easy. Yeah, I switched to that because while it was more active, it was also a lot quicker in absolute time. I mean, I don't actually need to farm that, but I just felt like farming to get slots and stuff. Because using the same quartz I've been using all game is kind of lame. I also sold all of my... When I started farming, I sold all of my Sepith that I had to just get a bunch of Mira. And now I'm back up to a lot of Sepith. But with that, I also purchased 2 still blues because it seems funny. But yes, that's what I did to get everyone upgraded. I'll do more of that between now and next time, but that's not a right now issue. Right now, it's time to go to everywhere around here and talk to people. I won't go to the downtown will be last. I didn't talk to most of them when I was there previously, so I'm going to talk to them then. There's a lot of people to talk to. But business owners is on East Street. Oh, that's Civic Center. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's going to be when I get to the Civic Center. Like, basically all of these, I'm going to pick up as I go and just do them when I get them. And continue talking as I go. The Ancient Battlefields can be pretty fun once I go to Tangram Gate. And once I do that quest, that's when I'll worry about the fishing completion. And Nox Forest is just go to Nox Forest. Yeah, now, oh, these kids. They've never been out here that I've noticed. Yeah, now it's just time to talk to all the folks. And that's probably going to take the entire day. I'm probably not even going to talk to everyone today because there's not going to be enough time. I tried calling a hospital yesterday. From the sound of it, Cecile and the rest of the staff have been working non-stop for days. I can only imagine. There were so many people who needed to be admitted because of the raid. It makes me worry for her. Cecile is the kind of person who won't rest as long as there are people in need. I just pray she doesn't overwork herself. And it means Ilya is her friend. The IBC was reduced to a burning pile of rubble, but awful as that is, at least they quickly resumed their services. Banks are what keep merchants like me in business. I can't say I appreciate someone blowing the place sky high. Ilya was seriously injured when the town was attacked the other day. Does that mean we might never see her perform on stage again? This can't be happening. While doing that, I noticed this is one of the few houses that actually has like an appropriate number of beds. Like Pansy, her sister, their dad. I don't know if there exists a mom. I can't remember if Chiruru is here. I'm pretty sure Chiruru is over here. Hey, this one has 2. There's Chiruru and him. Actually, these people actually do have an appropriate number of beds. Interesting. Sometimes they don't seem to be... Like, the amount of stuff doesn't match the number of people most of the time. Juna looked so sad. Who's Juna? Yeah, she must have it really tough right now. Sniffle. But don't worry. If anyone can get through it, it's Juna. We just gotta focus on doing whatever we can to help. Yeah, you're right. I can't just sit around crying. That's the spirit. Is Juno one of the sisters at the cathedral? I can't remember. I invited Momo out to play, but her mom wouldn't let her. This is boring. I think Momo's mother is worried about letting her out of the house. I can't blame her after what happened during the raid. I mean, can't they just play in their house? Question mark? Like, they could just go here and play, like, with blocks upstairs? Like, it wouldn't be that unreasonable. We're having a sale to make the reconstruction period a little easier for folks. But unfortunately for Oscar's fangirls, he's not in today. It's been a while since it's been just me and Bennett running the show. Here's hoping we can keep the place standing. I actually have to locate the drunk. I remembered this interaction made me think of the drunk in the downtown district. I need to locate him. Because he's out and about somewhere, I think. They're having a reconstruction sale today, so some of the bread is half off. It's not often they put things up at a discount, so I plan to splurge and buy myself a baker's dozen. Welcome to Morris's. We've got a new kind of bread for sale. Here, try a sample. Thick cutlet sandwich. Now, is it a thick cutlet or is it a thick sandwich? It's probably a thick cutlet making a sandwich that is also thick. But it could just be a lot of bread and a normal amount of meat. Thanks, Bennett. I'll have some later. If you're looking for Oscar, he's helping with the charity event. As much as I would have loved to go, Oscar's sunny smile will be more than enough to cheer everyone up. Forget I said that. Goofy. Anyway, I'm in charge of the shop. Anyway, I'm in charge of the shop today. All I meant was that I trust Oscar to handle the charity event, so don't you dare read into it. Pretty silly. Mooncake muffin. Thick cutlet sandwich. Ooh, it heals twice the amount of the Bennett Supreme. I think Bennett's losing out. If there's one silver lining here, it's that this neighborhood came out relatively unscathed. I mean, look at the administrative and harbor districts. They're in terrible shape. It's almost like they weren't just going out to kill civilians. To think we would end up the victims of a raid. Who could have imagined it? As for me, I'm doing my small part to ensure the city remains safe in the aftermath. That said, even if Erebonia is behind the attack, I doubt they would act again so soon. Regardless, we're going to have to keep our guard up until the referendum 3 days from now. Who is this guy? Is this a random dude? People are working to restore the IBC building, now that it's been reduced to rubble. I plan on taking pictures of it all. We can't let something so mortifying happen ever again. Capturing the aftermath on photo will make sure we never forget what happened that night. It's an interesting premise. My husband made a donation towards the city's reconstruction efforts. I used to think he was nothing but a selfish pig, but now I'm starting to view him in a new light. Oof, what a healthy relationship. I went to the charity event to donate all the Mira I made selling off our old furniture. They'd put it to far better use than I would, wasting it all on myself. We're all going through hard times right now, so it's important to help each other out. Assuming he sold it before the event. Assuming, if he sold it after the event in order to get funds to donate, it probably would have been better to donate old furniture if it was usable. But the intent is clear what they're trying to do there. Our city, raided by marauders. Can you imagine anything more terrifying? Our city, shot by railway guns. Our neighborhood was fortunate enough to go mostly unscathed, but I fear the worst is yet to come. I just hope we never find ourselves in a situation like that ever again. I think if Erebonia actually attacked us, that would be worse. Thankfully, Arios was able to protect Orcus Tower during the raid. A damn shame about the IBC though. The building was one of the symbols of Crossbell. Those criminal deviants bringing it down makes a mockery of our state's rich history. It's unconscionable. So, Ilya was the one living in the 3rd floor this entire time. I finally figured it out once Sully came to pick up her belongings. What a genius. Sully was living there for some reason. Sully works with Ilya. I don't know. Learning the truth should have made me happier than anything, but all it does is remind me what happened to her. It's an interesting premise. The disconnect between healing arts and actual physical damage. Like, characters can be blown up, attacked by a demon, and like eviscerated, and healing arts heal them. But a chandelier falls on you. No, no, no. No healing arts can fix that. It's just an interesting element that's necessary in video games and other games. The company I'm employed at ended up destroyed along with the IBC building. Now that we don't have a workplace, all of our operations are suspended. What are we supposed to do now? Move to Orcus Tower is my guess. Because like Orcus Tower is huge. It has places people can work. I'm assuming that's what it's going to end up being used for. Mr. Grimwood's been incredibly busy. If only I were a fully licensed lawyer. Then I'd be able to consult with some of his clients on his behalf. I mean, his clients would still want Mr. Grimwood, not the child, but whatever. Now, where did I leave those documents on this client's company? You seem busy, Mr. Grimwood. I mean, I think generally if someone seems busy, you don't start talking to them. Oh, hello, SSS. Many businesses suffered heavy damage due to that terrible raid. Their representatives have been coming in for consultations all week, so I haven't had much time to rest. Presumably he's finished his draft. Sounds tough. It is, but there's nothing for it. The destruction of the IBC has caused so many to lose valuable business partners, not to mention their actual workplaces. I'm doing everything I can to help my clients who were negatively impacted. A classic Grizzly Grim move, really. What about that draft for the Constitution you were working on? How has that been? Well, I mean, let's be real. The referendum was supposed to happen in the past. If he didn't have it ready for the past date, he wouldn't have it ready for this. And if he doesn't have it ready for this date, he wouldn't have had it ready for the past date. Actually, I finished it. It's already in the hands of the state. I should actually read this first. How about the draft for the Constitution you were working on? How has that been? Actually, I finished it. It's already in the hands of the state government. Man can achieve anything he sets his mind to, as they say. I can't claim I found much time to sleep, though. Because, like, even with everything, the referendum was supposed to happen a while ago. Like, days and days ago. As long as he places a certain degree of emphasis on getting it done quickly, it should have been mostly done, I would think, before the referendum would have happened. But, I don't know. You've been working through the night, then? Please try not to overdo it, sir. Oh, don't worry about me. I'm planning to get through as many of these appointments as possible today, so I can get a good night's rest tonight. I mean, even if you don't get through them all, they're not going to meet with you in the middle of the night. Now, if you'll excuse me, my next client is waiting. I can only presume the SSS, too, has no shortage of support requests right now. I wish you all the best in your endeavors. Thanks, Mr. Grimwood. Now it's these folks. Mom keeps stopping me every time I try to play outside. But I want to go hang out with Ryu and Henri. Like, why can't they just hang out here and play? I mean, they could play tag almost, but not really. Hey there, welcome to Talus's. We're holding a sale on basic necessities. Have a look. Is there any sale? Ooh, chapter 2. I don't need that one. Yes. A sale of 0% off. I also wanted to consider, if it's 10k each, I'm just going to round it. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 23. So it would be less than 230,000 to get maximum of everything. So I could, considering most of these are significantly less than 100, I could probably max out my stores of all the ingredients without worrying. I'm not going to do it right now, but I'll probably end up getting more Mira between now and next time, and I'll purchase all that stuff then. I should actually talk to Talus. The prospect of letting Momo play outside just terrifies me. It's been a week since everything happened, and even still I can't bring myself to fully relax. Hey, oh, it's the same thing? Okay. I didn't pay attention. So, now, wait, what the... Sankt Street. Why is the K so tall? Weird. People to talk to. Harold is not in, which is good, because then there's gonna be no interactions with Harold, which will make it take longer. My mom is finally home from her job abroad. Thank goodness for that. Well, I think you probably don't want your mom to be here when there was a major fight that just happened, but whatever. It was scary not having the whole family together during a raid. That's understandable. Like, if everyone's together, even if you'll all die, at least you all die together. It's like maybe positive. I haven't seen my mom since the anniversary festival. It's good to know that she's doing okay. You're finally home. You finally come home, Marietta. Yes, well, the IBC building was our main office after all. I came back to help with relocating services to Orcus Tower. Yeah, they're moving stuff to Orcus. I see. I know you're busy, but remember to take proper care of yourself, dearie. Family unhurt. Nothing interesting. Harold is not here. It's our little kid. Cute kid. Papa's gonna take me and Mama on a trip the next time he gets a break off work. He said where we're going is really nice. Haha, I can't wait. I hope they're just like, we're out. We're leaving Crossbell. Bye. I think that would be the correct choice, to temporarily leave Crossbell for like a few months. Harold is visiting mines today to see how their citizens are holding up. Ever since the raid and occupation, he's been determined to help them as much as he can. It makes me proud to have a compassionate husband like him. Yeah, like the whole reason that they're compassionate is because of their daughter is pretty twisted. It's pretty sad. I haven't talked to this guy since near the start of Zero because he was just obnoxious. That raid was one of the most horrific shows of violence I've ever seen. I've been having nightmares about it ever since. It's getting to where even sleep is no longer a refuge. Nobody? Nobody? Nobody. Nobody. Good. The raid was nothing short of a tragedy. While the reconstruction of Crossbell is nearing completion, I am afraid the residual fears and anxieties over what happened have yet to subside for the average citizen. We can only hope that Master Henry and Mayor Croix find a way to keep us safe in the coming days. I hear they're holding a charity event in the administrative district today. I wish there was some way I could help. I mean, you could do a lot. I find it interesting that there's a proper, range hood is what they're called. I'm thinking of a fume hood, but that's for chemical laboratory settings. It's called a fume hood. And it's also more, like, contained than this, but this place has a range hood here, whereas a lot of them don't bother having that. Oh, it's closed because they got kicked out. Oh, it's not closed. Shoot. I was hoping the door was closed because they were gone. I just didn't pay enough attention. I wish they were gone. It would be nice if they just weren't here. Too fast. I heard a bunch of cops and guardsmen were injured in the raid the other day. Serves them right. That's what they get for treating us like dregs. Despicable. I'd rather not spend another second in his presence. Fair enough. Anything we tell this idiot will just go in one ear and come out right out the other. The whole city's down in the dumps. How are we supposed to have any fun like this? Maybe going on a drive or something would cheer things up. Wait, that's right. We don't have a car anymore. Gary's talking big and all, but I think he's kind of crossing a line here. Me and Sykes will try to get him to ease off. Don't worry, we'll be slick about it. See, I kind of enjoy... The dynamic is obvious. They're hangers-on of his because he has a lot of money. And access to cars. So, like, it's an obvious dynamic. That, like, obviously, the lowest on the totem pole is in this sort of thing generally going to be the most... Wait, in stories like this, is generally going to be the most reasonable dude. Because he doesn't have that, oh, I'm a rich guy perspective in the same sense as like the top of the totem pole. But yeah, it's obvious that what's his face? I already forgot his name. It might be Reggie. Yeah, Reggie is more reasonable because he's just a okay dude because he's the bottom of the totem pole. He is the gopher. Okay, talking to people. I need to know where Reese is. Rios. I don't want to talk to you, but I will have to. Oh, flowers. Oh, someone left a bouquet. But who? I mean, we saw Arius over on the right. It might be him. The raid on the city struck me with terror. I couldn't help but think back to the incident that took my husband away from me 30 years ago. Never did I want to go through anything so traumatic again, and yet... It's gonna be a cutscene when I talk to him. Who is this? Ah, yes. Thaya McLean, 1199. Wait. Ooh, 24 years old. 1199. 1199. 1201. 2 years apart. In death. 1176. Interesting. Arios. The SSS. I didn't expect to see all of you here. By the way, we read about what happened at Orcus Tower in the latest Crossbell Times. The article said you took the Jaegers head on. Damn, dude. Good job. Ha ha, you flatter me. Don't forget that I had Dudley to rely on too. Yeah, like, it's like... This is one of the elements where the disconnect between gameplay and story is lame. Because the goons of the Jaegers are not that threatening. It's like 2 arts and they'll be at half HP pretty easily. So like... Arios being able to handle it is absolutely nothing. It's like, if he couldn't handle it, that would be surprising. It's just, the gameplay and stuff don't match up well. If they made the Jaeger goons a little more threatening in gameplay, then this would fit better. Don't forget that I Dudley for on too. There's no need to be so modest. Incidentally, the grave you came to visit today that we just looked at and saw that it was his wife's. Is it safe to assume whose it is? Saya McLean. Shizuku's mother. She passed away in an accident 5 years ago. Shizuku's mother. And your wife. That was the same accident the kiddo lost her eyesight in, yeah? Arios. Is something wrong? No, not at all. I finished my business here. It's time I take my leave. Oh, right. It was good seeing you, Arios. Yeah, why does... Okay. Heterochromia. Purple right eye, gray left eye, but even more magical, 2 brown orange eyes. Like the fact that the eye color here, he has 2 different eye colors in his model here, and yet it doesn't even match the eye color of this. Like neither one matches this eye color. He should have the same eye, this should have the same eye color as Lloyd. Listen well, Lloyd. Crossbell is on the brink of an era unprecedented in its history. It's so long of 70-year history. But no matter what happens, no matter what circumstances are thrust upon you or what trials lie ahead, never lose sight of what's most important to you. Huh? Question mark? How do you vocalize ... question mark? You can't. And just like that, he's gone. Except he's clearly still in line of sight. What the hell was that all about? Beats me. I was unable to parse it myself, but it almost felt like a warning. What were you trying to get at, Arios? Arios stopped by to say hello not too long ago. We don't share drinks anymore, the way we did in the good old days. But even still, that man hasn't changed a bit. Okay. Mass will be held in the cathedral today. The services are dedicated to those who lost their lives in the raid, as we pray for Eidos to guide them to her kingdom. I hope that all of you can find the time to join us. Nah. I always give cookies to the children who come to Mass. You're welcome to attend too, of course. Boop. Wow. Look at the attendance. Oof. It probably hasn't started. I hear the young men from the Testaments gang have taken the initiative to rebuild the downtown district. I couldn't fathom why they would do so at first. Perhaps they truly are good kids deep down. I mean, I like, other than the fights with the Saber Vipers, they've never done anything bad within the direct framing of the games. Like, we haven't fought them outside of them fighting the Saber Vipers as much as I can remember. Like, the Saber Vipers are clearly aggressive, and even then they don't have, other than Wald, they haven't really done anything terrible other than try and fight the opposing gang. Like, I wish there was, in Zero, I think it would have been pretty good if there were a few quests where they were just causing trouble for other people in ways that weren't them fighting the opposing gang. Because that would have made them more delinquenty. I had been chalking my recent business success up to my constant prayers to the goddess, but I can hardly take pride in the blessings I've had after what happened to the city. So today, I'm not here to pray for profits. The only thing I have to ask of Eidos is peace and tranquility. We're here for Mass today. Usually all we do is play around, but even we know to behave at a time like this. Dear Goddess, please look after all the people in the city. We've managed to confirm the safety of all the children currently enrolled in Sunday school. Sadly, lessons have been suspended indefinitely due to the current state of affairs. Nevertheless, I cannot wait for them to begin again. I truly do miss their smiling faces already. And yeah, Reese is over there. Far more people are attending Mass than usual these days. 3 people. Compared to 1 is a lot more, but that's hardly a surprise. The city will need all the solace it can find to recover from the attack. Not long ago, I received a report from the Congregation of Divine for Divine Worship. It stated that His Holiness the Pope has authorized the Congregation for the Sacraments' intervention in Crossbell. But even so, I will never approve of them. I refuse to condone their stooping to illicit acts, no matter the justification. I mean, at this point in time, they seem very justified in most of what they do. Like, the things that they solve are important enough for a little bit of behind-the-scenes illicitness. The CGF and citizens both suffered heavy losses in the raid. What must be done to ensure that such an incident never occurs again? That is something that all Crossbellans must come together and reflect on right now. Helping with Mass today, Reese? Yes, I am. The cathedral has had more worshippers than usual for today's services. They've had their homes attacked and their lives endangered. I know exactly how that feels. Reese. Sounds like she went through a similar tragedy once upon a time. Just between us, the Congregation for the Sacraments is still deliberating over what actions to take in response to this incident. Questionable. In the meantime, I intend to gather as much information as I can while I'm still in Crossbell. I would advise you all to be cautious in how you move forward from this as well. While you're still in Crossbell? We understand. You take care of yourself out there too, Reese. See, the only thing interesting here is, the only thing about what happened that I'm pretty sure relates to her is the bell. The bell being stolen is relevant, but I don't think the Congregation of the Divine Sacraments is a crime-solving group. They're not, like, it wouldn't make sense for them to be sent here because Jaeger's attacked. It would make sense for them to be sent here because a magical bell was stolen. And like, that magical bell is almost certainly magical. Considering it looks like the ones in the other locations that caused demons to be summoned. Okay, what do I need to do? Entertainment. I already did back alley. So entertainment, admin. Well, entertainment, Orcus, admin, IBC, harbor, east, downtown. Hey there, wanna play? Then come on in. Ugh, I was hoping they'd change up the attitude a little, bit more interesting. I wonder if I can sell... I wouldn't be able to sell it here. I just want to see if... Can I sell? I can. They're only worth 50 each. I'm going to sell 9 though. Just so that if I get more, it's not totally wasted. But U materials only being valued at 50 Mira is wild. For a second I was going to say that's a big shadow, but no, it's a big scorch mark. I assume these people are not going to have anything interesting to say. Ah, they actually do have stuff to say. The referendum will finally be held 3 days from now. After everything that's happened, it's easy to predict the results. But even so, I still plan to participate. How will I be voting? That, dear guest, is a secret. I mean, no it isn't. Every time I see the scorch marks outside, I think back to the raid. We were fortunate that armed group didn't breach the casino. I mean, let's be real. Their goal wasn't to kill civilians. A casino is low priority. But suppose they had. What would have happened to us? The thought keeps me up at night. Well, what would have happened is they would have threatened you at gunpoint and then left you alive because they clearly weren't out to kill people. Like, if they were out just to kill civilians, they would have killed the Crossbell news service pretty easily. Of course, he doesn't know that. Like, this Galetti guy doesn't know that, so that's okay. It's reasonable that he is worried. He doesn't have the whole context. I'm fortunate that I wasn't here when that terrible attack occurred last week. But from what I've heard, no attack occurred inside, so you actually would have been totally fine. Obviously sentiment. But by the same token, there's no guarantee it won't happen again. It may be wisest for me to hold off on my outings to Crossbell for now. That means she's not from Crossbell City, at least. Everyone's talking about the referendum. I hear they're gonna have polling stations all over. But if I'm gonna vote, it might as well be at Orcus Tower. Interesting choice. I already got those, I think. I just want to check here. Because, like, it makes sense that the value of U material is below 200. Because if you could sell U material for 250, you would just... Or no, 250. If you... Wait. No. If it's 200 tokens, that's 1,000 Mira. They're valuing U material at 1,000 Mira. But if we sell U material, it's 50. That is a huge margin. It's weird. Well, if it isn't Randy. You have the face of a man who's finally managed to move on. I have to wonder what you're doing here, though. Business has been dead all week. What are you talking about? This place looks the same as it always does. Why don't you just admit that you missed me, Drake? You wish. Life was going great with one less whiny brat to deal with. The only reason I want you around is so you can pay back your debts. And I don't just mean your tab. So don't think about going anywhere until you've paid me back in full. Ha, don't remind me, you old grouch. I know it doesn't always seem like it. Those two really are close. It doesn't always seem like it. Literally the second or third time I've talked with him all game, they're like a pair of schoolyard pals. Is like, come on, you don't interact with these two enough within the framing of the game. They probably interact in the reality that they live in, but I'm so worried about Ilya. I wish there was some way I could help, but all I know how to do is sell ice cream. Still, I'll keep at it while I await Ilya's big comeback. Here goes nothing. You have to respect that. She at least initially is like, it's rough. Oh, I was hoping it would just be ... Why? What did Lady Ilya ever do to deserve this? See, saying what did they do to deserve this, I think fits a little better here, considering it very much seemed like she was targeted. Now, admittedly, it could have just been a coincidence that it could be that they didn't expect Ilya to save the kid, and the kid could have been the target, but the kid being the target makes less sense than Ilya being the target. And so what did she do to deserve this makes a little more sense here than the general greater raid, because it was a targeted attack at her specifically. They say Lady Ilya's still in a coma. What kind of cruel world would let something like this happen? Well, you know what cures a coma? Belath. It revives from death. It obviously isn't an actual revive, but... Oh, let me read the sign. Hello, everyone. Balsamo, I'm a little surprised you're here. Is the entire troop in today? Indeed they are. Each of them has been coming to the theater every day they can. Except for Rixia, that is. She's yet to return since that horrible night. We're sorry to hear that. That aside, all of our troop has been taking turns visiting Ilya at the hospital. Sully will be there all day today, as a matter of fact. I see. She must be taking this hard. Well, truth be told, I'm still in shock at what happened. This all feels like a never-ending nightmare. If only. Forgive me for rambling. You're free to walk around the theater and say hello to the rest of the troop. I think they would like that. Know that the SSS is always welcome here. Thank you, sir. We really appreciate it. Who exactly was that red-haired girl? And where has Rixie run off to? So much has transpired, and I'm still baffled by almost all of it. Because, Rixia could have saved Ilya. Rixia could have saved Sully. It doesn't make sense that she didn't from a broader mix of like story, gameplay, all that stuff, because she's like able to move super fast. And like when you consider she was able to jump up and save a cat from further away, it doesn't make sense that she wasn't able to help, but whatever. Normally I'd be practicing my singing right about now, but I just can't find the inspiration anymore. I feel nauseous just thinking about that horrible attack on opening night. Ilia's costume was tattered and stained in blood. Couldn't bear to look at it. Oh, Ilia, how could this have happened? I wonder what Ilia would say to us at a time like this. I know we have to stay strong, but I've been at a loss for days. Well, she would probably say something along the lines that the show must go on. And just they would be like, keep practicing. But not actually. Sully is taking all of this much harder than the rest of us. Ilia was hurt protecting her, so she blames herself for it. Where could Rixia be? It feels like she's hiding something from us, but still, she is one of us. I don't want to believe that she'd just abandon us without so much as saying goodbye. Ilia has always been an amazing woman. She gallantly protected Sully without a second thought, and even after she was hurt, the only things she cared about were Sully's safety and the rest of the performance. They say the show must go on, but is there anything we can accomplish in this sad state? Ooh. Ah, Lloyd. I'm sorry, Avon. No, I should be the one apologizing. I've had so much on my mind these past few days that it's hard to even greet our guests properly. Still, I believe with all my heart that Ilia will recover from her coma. I mean, I really think it would actually up the stakes if Ilia died. Like, if she's not a major character, but she's a named character. She has a personality. We know who she is. If she died, that would really up the stakes. But she's not going to die, is my assumption. We believe so too. In that case, now isn't the time to be moping around. I have to pull myself together. For everyone's sake. The stage sets and automata the Meister built us were destroyed in the attack. The Meister breathed life into these works of art, and the troupe members took care of them with the utmost respect. All it took was a senseless act of violence to destroy them all in the blink of an eye. Still, at the end of the day, the staging and automata can always be rebuilt. But what happened to Ilia? I'm sorry, I need a moment. I could talk to this random dude. Still nothing important to say. Wow, he's still just being a barker. Seeing the entertainment district bathed in flames was like a scene right out of a nightmare. For now, I hope our hotel can play a small part in restoring Crossbell City to its former glory. How so? The raid has left deep, lasting scars on our city, and that is far from an overstatement. The CGS sustained heavy losses. Even Ilia couldn't escape harm. We can never allow this to happen again. That is all I have to say on the matter. Monsters roaring, gunshots left and right, officers shouting and screaming. Recalling the details of that night still makes me quiver with fear. How could this have happened to us? Pretty good. Our hotel was fortunate enough to avoid any major damage in the raid. Arc-en-Ciel, on the other hand, what a catastrophe. Why would the attackers even target them? It's despicable. Because they are a symbol. And you know what you do with symbols when you're trying to make a point. You make use of them, which in this case means attacking it. Oh, can I still go to the... I can still go to the roof, can I? Nice. There better be something up here this time. This music does not fit. I really think that in this context they should have swapped the music out for this for something a little bit more somber. Because this is far too positive of a song. Ooh, I can actually walk around it. Further. No, I can't. I thought it was further, but it's not. Darn. I want to go all the way around. I just forgot how far I was able to go previously because it didn't matter. This guy has to have like a book or something, right? Ah, I knew coming up here again would be a good idea. I was planning on taking this time to get through this book I brought, but the view is just too captivating. You can try giving it a read yourself, though, if you like. Sunshine Agnes, Chapter 10. I'm missing like 3 books, because I don't think I have Chapter 9. Yeah, I'm missing 5, 6, and 9. I have no idea where 9 is. I don't even remember where I got 8, but... So I missed 9 and 5 and 6. I know one of 5 or 6 was a cat that wanted cat food. Specifically cat food. We couldn't give it a nice... Like, it wouldn't accept a gold salmon, a noble carp. I didn't have those at the time. It wouldn't accept a salmon. It only wanted cat food. Which I think is a little weird that it wouldn't accept a fish, but... It is what it is. I already gave up on getting the Sunshine Agnes. Of course, I gave up at that point because I was pretty sure I wasn't going to be able to get the first book. But then I got the first book afterwards, and then it's like, oh, too late now to make up for the loss, but... The Empire must be the ones backing the Red Constellation. Who else could it be? There's no way us Crossbellans can take something like this lying down. Yes, the Empire. They're the ones that it must be. No one else possible. Hey, it's her! Does this mean I could have come here to exchange Sepith at a higher deal than when I did previously? Hello again, Lanfei. It looks like you've been settling in nicely since the relocation. Good day, Miss McDowell. And yes, things have been going smoothly thanks to the work of acting CEO Miss Croix and everyone in the technology department. Over half of our staff has already resumed regular operations here at Orcus Tower. Feel free to come to me with anything you might need, just as you did before. Thank you, Lanfei. We will. It's only slightly better. Like, instead of 21, I got 20 for the first ones, and instead of 32, I got 30. Like, it's 5% more-ish, right? Yeah. It's, well, 30, the 2 is a little bit more than 5%, but... Like, it's 5% rounded up to the nearest whole number. So it would have been more. Instead of 300,000, I would have gotten 315,000, which, like, 15,000 is a fairly large amount, but... The Civic Center is holding a charity event today. All proceeds go towards the reconstruction efforts for the city. They've been doing a lot of good work to bring smiles back to people's faces. I urge you to consider attending if you have the time. I'm not doing that today. I'll just ignore that for now. Arius McLean is a true Crossbellan hero. I was there when he defended us from the armed group's advance. It was breathtaking beyond description. It may sound outlandish, but I feel as though we could even stand up to the major powers with him in our corner. Really, I do. You're wrong. The major powers also have S-rank bracers and S-rank equivalents. I saw the conflict in the plaza break out as I was heading to the basement to take shelter during the raid. Watching those Jaegers close in on us was one of the most terrifying things I've ever experienced. I'm so thankful they didn't breach the building. I honestly didn't think I was going to live through the night. I was surprised to hear the IBC had been backing up customer data at Orcus Tower for a while now. They're really something, huh? You won't find better crisis management anywhere. That's the kind of reputation that comes with supporting the continent's economy for as long as they have. Yes. Definitely good luck. Orcus Tower came out unscathed in the raid thanks to Mr. McLean's iron defenses. The IBC building, on the other hand, is nothing but a burnt-out husk now. Thankfully, civilian casualties were kept to a minimum, and there are still scars left behind, like at Arc-en-Ciel. I love the name Thibodeau. I'm not sure what they were after, or if it was just a warning or something. Doesn't matter though, Crossbell won't forget this. These guys never have anything to say. Aw, these two aren't here anymore. They ran away. Hey, it's this dude. Orcus Tower's presence is such that even without my vision, I can feel it towering above me. Rather convenient that it was at hand to serve as a new symbol for the city after the IBC building's destruction. ... I like that. Rather convenient ... Perhaps I'm overthinking it. Wonderful, Nielson. Mwah. On point. Wonderful. What a great detective. I was in the financial affairs office when the attack started. The plan was for us to evacuate to the basement. But since it was impossible for everyone to use the elevators, the younger men volunteered to take the stairs instead. The only problem? Financial affairs is on the 31st floor. I thought I was going to have a heart attack by the time I got to the bottom. Mommy said Mr. Arias and the police officers protected us from the bad guys. Thank you, Mr. Arias. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Police Officers. My daughter and I were in the plaza when the attack happened. Even when they told us to take shelter in the building, I thought for certain we were going to die. We owe our lives to everyone who risked theirs to defend the tower, Arias especially. Yes, indeed. They definitely wanted to take out Orcus Tower. No siree. Well, no. They weren't aiming for other stuff. No siree. Orcus Tower was definitely a priority for them. It's why they didn't send their main strength there. Good afternoon, Special Sports Section. Same to you. How is everything? Have repairs begun on headquarters? Well, we've managed to clean up most of the rubble so far. But as you can see, the damage to the entranceway is quite severe. It's going to take some time before the reception area is fully operational again. In the meanwhile, the department has moved all reception duties to the Crossbell Police Academy. That's where you'll find Miss Rebecca as well. Any work-related business you need to conduct can be done over there. Good to know. Thank you for telling us. Balloon guy. Have you heard? They say the raid was plotted by the Empire. Those damn Imperials. I'll never forgive them. The Empire did so many awful things. That makes them the bad guys, right? Balloons, get your balloons here. How many would you like? 1, 2, 3. Take as many as you can hold. I see that this fundraiser was planned by the Business Owners Association. It's just like the anniversary festival. You can always count on the BOA to hatch an uplifting idea. The fundraiser they're holding at the Civic Center seems like fun. They've managed to get some real exciting events. Above all, I think making the reconstruction effort something we can come together and enjoy as a community is a wonderful idea. Welcome. How would you like to try my brand new acerbic tomato soda? Some people swear by this stuff, I'll have you know. Give it a swig. It'll put a pep in your step, I guarantee it. I already know it's vile. So what does it do? 5,000 HP and 20 CP. Not bad. The Spore 10X is actually pretty good. 250 EP. No, I didn't mean that. Wrong button. But yeah, that's not bad. That's a quarter of TO. That's like 25%. It's actually more than 25%. So I'm going to do the library and then I'll stop there. And then next time I will start with the quests here. And then I'll continue going through these locations. I'll do the quest there. This is... Next time I'll start once I finish. Let's just do it after. Let's do this first. I need to actually do correct orders. That charity event hosted by the city and the Business Owners Association looks like a good time. Maybe I'll head over and make a donation. The library was not attacked. We've still got a long road ahead, but the reconstruction efforts finally seem to be coming together. Thankfully, there was no damage to the station or airport, so I'm still free to come and go from Crossbell as I please. It's scary to think about, but mass transit is a major target for violence when it comes to attacks like the raid. But they didn't target it, huh? I had already gotten off work and left for the night when the raid began. It seems the administrative district suffered heavy damages, especially at the police department. An entire week has gone by since then, but even now, I can't forget the flames that ravaged our city. Oh, they're not here. That says a lot about the state of the city if those two aren't there. But yeah, so I was ahead of myself, but next time on Monday, I'll be back. I'll do the charity case quest. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's going to take too long for today. Then I will go IBC, Harbor District, East Street. When I'm at East Street, I'll do the Oh Father, Where Art Thou? Then after that, I'll go talk to the people in downtown. And then after talking to people in downtown, it's Police Academy, Bellegarde, Mines, Armorica, Tangram, and then St. Ursula. But not really, because I will leave St. Ursula for after I finish. Once I'm done Tangram Gate, I'll be going to the Ancient Battlefield and Sunfort area, at which there's a fishing location that gets me the catfish. Once I have the catfish, and once I get the catfish, I'll get the other 3 legendary fish that I haven't gotten yet, and then I'll do the 4th of the Elite 4 fishermen, and then once I'm done the 4th of the Elite 4 fishermen, I'll pick up the legendary fish at his location. Once I have that done, I'll face Lake Lord. Once I beat Lake Lord, I'll get the last legendary fish, and then I'll be done with fishing. After I do all that, it'll be time to go to St. Ursula Medical College. But next time will be the Crossbell City Hall, well, Civic Center. Again, they really should, this sign shouldn't be difficult to move, but they haven't moved it. But that's where I'm stopping today. Next time it will be continuing that. Between now and then, I intend to do some more unnecessary but kind of productive grinding to get more Sepith and Mira, so that I can actually equip as many of the upgraded quartz as I can, instead of just... Oh yeah, I put Heaven's Eye on someone else. Get as much upgraded Mira so that I have more, I don't know, so that I'll be able to actually see some of the interesting arts, because some of the later arts are kind of fun. Like Adamantine Guard's pretty strong, but I don't really, not interesting. Genesis Flood, Eschaton, 460 EP. That is expensive. Ooh, and it's 10 Mirage. That's actually pretty good for her to get. But yeah, like a bunch of these I want to pick up. I want to be able to have enough. I want to have quartz that can do this. Whereas right now, none of these are options because I don't have, like, my quartz are not upgraded enough that I physically could not get access to Holy Breath, probably. Because I just don't have enough high value quartz. Lucifin Wing. Interesting. Oh cool, Shadowblade heals. Neat. But yeah, I'm gonna deal with all this in a bit. Zodiac, huh? Anyway, I'm getting distracted. This is where I'm stopping today because it's time to stop. Next time I'll continue. Have a good day. Bye-bye.